Let me guess. Probably you checked your cholesterol report and somebody told you to stop eating eggs, ghee, or stop everything. And even after stopping all these things from your diet, nothing has really changed. The thing that you have to understand is reducing egg or ghee from your diet might bring some changes for a very minority group. And for the other vast majority, it is not really going to bring any major difference. To understand the why behind this, you should understand how cholesterol is being produced, processed, and also eliminated from your body. In this video, I'm going to explain this in a very common man's language so you understand how these things actually work and you can actually craft your own lifestyle changes that can bring a real difference. And why I said you can craft your own lifestyle changes is because we all are different. And in cholesterol management, there is no one size that fits all of us. So the usual dietary recommendations such as reduce this, avoid that, will not really work for all of us. So stay with me till the end of this video to get the best out of it. And towards the end of this video, I'm gonna give you 5 ways through which you can manage your cholesterol effectively. Those recommendations are not just to reduce your egg yolk or ghee, but these ones are going to make real big difference. So let's get started. So before we go any deeper, we all should understand how cholesterol is managed in our body. To understand this, we should know about what is cholesterol homeostasis. I have explained cholesterol homeostasis in one of my previous videos in which I explained about the health benefits of eggs. Why don't we go back to watch that portion about cholesterol homeostasis and then come back? Yeah? So let me play. Now listen carefully. It is not always necessary that if you are taking cholesterol in your diet, your serum cholesterol should go up. In a healthy individual, almost 80% of the cholesterol is produced by the liver. Now, assume that a healthy individual almost produces 1000 milligrams of cholesterol a day. Now, also imagine that you are intaking 200 milligrams of cholesterol through your diet. Your body has got wonderful mechanisms to understand that you have already got 200 milligrams of cholesterol through your diet. And as a result, what happens? Your liver on that day will produce only 800 grams. Why? Because we need only 1000 milligrams of cholesterol a day. This process is called as cholesterol homeostasis, through which our body is maintaining the cholesterol level in it. So what do we understand from this? If you are a healthy individual, it doesn't really matter how much amount of cholesterol is there in your diet. If you're taking more in your diet, your body produces less. At any moment, your body is deciding how much cholesterol to make, how much to absorb from food, and how much to remove. So when cholesterol is high in your body, it's not usually a mistake. It's a response. Something in your body is signaling the need for more cholesterol. And our job is to understand why. We already mentioned that 70 to 80% of the cholesterol is produced within the body, mainly by the liver. Only a smaller portion comes from the food. That's why I mentioned that managing your diet cannot bring a significant difference. And even this change, what a dietary management could bring, will be different from one person to the other. This is where the one-size-fits-all advice completely fails. Even the cholesterol that comes from the food is not absorbed the same way by everyone. 2 people can eat the same meal. One person's cholesterol rises and the other person's stays normal. Why? Because absorption depends on genetics, gut health, liver function, insulin sensitivity, and overall metabolic health. That's why there can never be one perfect cholesterol diet for everyone. Now here is something most people are never told. Cholesterol is not something your body is trying to get rid of. Cholesterol is not always bad. Your brain needs cholesterol. Your stress hormone, cortisol, is made from cholesterol. Your sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen, come from cholesterol. Even vitamin D starts from cholesterol. So when your body is under stress, be it physical, mental, or hormonal, your body increases cholesterol production as a protective mechanism. This is why cholesterol often increases during chronic stress, illness, or imbalance. I also want to break a misconception wherein most of the people go wrong. Cholesterol is not fat. They think either cholesterol is fat or cholesterol comes from fat, but it doesn't. Your body produces cholesterol from something called as acetyl coenzyme A, or in short, acetyl-CoA. I'll explain this in a little detail towards the later part of the video. But for now, understand that acetyl-CoA can come from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. This means excess sugar and refined carbs can push cholesterol production just as much, sometimes more, than fat. Before we get into the 5 ways to reduce cholesterol effectively, let me explain you one more thing. Once you understand this, you'll read food labels very differently. You have probably seen food packets that say 0 cholesterol. But when you turn the packet around, you will still see saturated fats or refined vegetable oils. That's because cholesterol and fat are not the same thing. Cholesterol exists mainly in animal food, whereas fats can exist with or without cholesterol. And again, fats can be divided majorly into 4: MUFAs, PUFAs, trans fat and saturated fat. Some of these are good for our health, whereas the other can be extremely dangerous. I have explained this in detail in one of my previous videos, so if you're interested, go check that video out here. Food companies use this confusion to market products as heart healthy, even when they are not. Okay, after understanding all these, now let's get into the most awaited section, the 5 ways through which one can actually reduce cholesterol effectively. The first one is to add more soluble fibers into your diet. Let me explain why. Your liver produces bile from cholesterol, and as you would know, bile is released into your intestines to help digest fat. Normally, most bile is reabsorbed back into the body. And what soluble fiber does is, they binds with bile in the intestine and prevents the reabsorption from happening. They actually binds with the bile and pushes it to get excreted out of the body. So when bile reabsorption is not happening, your liver has to use more cholesterol to produce new bile. And as a result, the cholesterol levels in your body reduces. Some of the examples of foods that are rich in soluble fibers are oats, barley, psyllium husk, apples, citrus fruits, and legumes. The second point is to reduce insulin spikes. Reducing insulin spikes can help manage cholesterol levels. You would probably know insulin regulates blood glucose. So an insulin spike is something that happens when there is a sugar spike. A little earlier, I mentioned something called as acetyl coenzyme A, in short acetyl-CoA. Think of acetyl-CoA as a common junction point. Everything that you eat, be it carbohydrates, proteins or fats, eventually gets converted to acetyl-CoA inside your cells. Your body can use acetyl-CoA to produce more energy, make fat for storage, to synthesize cholesterol, to produce ketone bodies, and also to support many cellular processes. However, which path this acetyl-CoA takes depends on few things. It depends on insulin levels, energy demand, hormonal balance, as well as metabolic health. So reducing refined carbohydrates and sugar directly reduces cholesterol. It is not just by reducing the intake of egg or red meat. Now, as a third point, let's talk about something that almost nobody connects to cholesterol: your gut bacteria. Inside your gut, you have trillions of bacteria. And they are not just helping with your digestion. They are also actively deciding what happens to your cholesterol. Just now we discussed that soluble fibers help with the excretion of bile, which in turn reduces the cholesterol levels. What a healthy gut bacteria does is they change the form of these bile acids into something that is more likely to be excreted. So if I want to sum up, I can say soluble fibers help mechanically, whereas a healthy gut bacteria help chemically. Another important role a healthy gut bacteria play is to reduce low-grade inflammation. When inflammation is too high, LDL gets damaged so easily. Maybe you know LDL is known as the bad cholesterol. When LDL is damaged, it is more likely to get attached to the blood vessels. So gut health not only affects cholesterol levels, but also cholesterol behavior. I have done a separate video about foods for healthy gut. If you're interested, check it out as well. The fourth point is about how thyroid controls cholesterol. Thyroid hormone, especially T3, tells your liver how many LDL receptors to make. These receptors pull LDL cholesterol out of the blood. When thyroid hormone is low, the liver makes fewer receptors. So LDL stays in circulation longer and starts building up. Thyroid also helps to convert cholesterol into bile. And we already know this is how cholesterol is leaving the body. So low thyroid means less bile, meaning more cholesterol is recycled back instead of getting excreted. So it is worthwhile to check your thyroid function if you notice your cholesterol being too high. And the fifth point I want to mention is about a connection between coffee and cholesterol. If you drink coffee every day, don't panic. It is not about coffee, it's about unfiltered coffee. Unfiltered coffee like French press or boiled coffee contains natural oils such as cafestol that can raise LDL. When you use a paper filter, most of these compounds are removed. So it's not about quitting coffee, it's about how you brew it. Paying attention to this can significantly help you with your cholesterol management. So to conclude with, cholesterol is not your enemy. When you see your cholesterol levels are staying high, it is giving a lot of information regarding your health. And I truly hope this video has helped you to find some of those correlations and also to find your own ways to manage your cholesterol levels effectively. And as always, if you found value from this video, give it a like and share it to somebody whom you think would get benefited out of watching this. Also, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. Once again, thank you for watching. This is Dr. Tomson, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.